Stories from Upanishads and Puranas, retold by Arghya Goswami. Welcome, friends, seekers, and curious minds. Today, we are diving deep into the mystical world of Rishi Jaimini's quest, unraveling the hidden secrets behind Bharata and the divine mysteries of Markandeya Puran. Remember my last podcast? It was the story of four birds, a journey that set the stage for today's adventure. We saw how Rishi Jaimini, driven by curiosity, sought answers from the great sage Markandeya about some of the most profound questions from Bharata, and the sage Markandeya redirected him to the four birds who had Vedic knowledge and could speak in a human voice. But the story doesn't end there. Today, we are venturing further, following the trail to the Vindhya mountains into the secret cavern where four wise birds reside: Pingaksha, Vibhoda, Supatra, and Sumukha. Prepare to be captivated as we uncover ancient secrets hidden in the stories of gods, kings, and sages that reveal the divine dance of creation, preservation, and destruction. Deep into the story, you will find the fascinating explanation of four forms of Vishnu and their astonishing significance. Did you know the story of Balarama's pilgrimage and hardships of Raja Harishchandra and origins of Pandavas all weave together to show us what divine justice and karma truly mean? So, are you ready? Let's journey into the realms of divine knowledge, mystical symbolism, and timeless truth. Press play, sit back, and let this epic saga unfold. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you never miss a story that can elevate your spiritual journey. Also, friends, please stay tuned for the next episode. We will explore how Raja Harishchandra's story of truth, sacrifice, and hardship continues to inspire generations. Are you excited? Then let's begin the divine adventure. The sage Markandeya told Rishi Jaimini that the birds stayed in a cavern in Vindhya mountains. Rishi Jaimini packed up, braved the wild, and journeyed to the caves of Vindhya mountains where the birds resided. Finally, after a long search, he managed to find the cavern. As he arrived, he heard something beautiful. Vedic chants being recited with such purity that he thought, surely Saraswati herself speaks through these voices. He entered the cavern and saw them, four birds perched on a slab of stone, reciting slokas from a palm leaf manuscript. Overwhelmed, Jaimini bowed and said, O wise ones, I am Jaimini, disciple of sage Vedavyasa. I know your past lives, your wisdom, and your devotion. I have come seeking answers. On hearing this, the birds honored Jaimini with Padya, that is the water for washing feet, and Arghya, that is gift given to a guest. By the way, my name is also Arghya, and what a coincidence. Asking about his welfare, these birds did not just welcome him, they fanned him with their wings to soothe his journey's fatigue. Then the birds said something beautiful. Our father's curse burns our bodies, but your presence is like cool, healing water. Your visit is like the company of gods. What a blessing! Our birth has been successful today. Jaimini smiled and spoke, O wise ones, I have deep questions about Bharata. Sage Markandeya told me only you can reveal the truths behind these cosmic events. So please enlighten me. The birds nodded. We shall answer if the knowledge lies within us. Excited Rishi Jaimini asked his questions. Why did Nirguna Janardana assume a human form? Why did Krishna, Drupa's daughter Draupadi, marry 5 Pandavas? Why did immensely powerful plow-wielding Balaram kill a Brahmin, Suta Lomharshana, and go to a Tirtha? And why did all 5 sons of Draupadi get murdered even when 5 Pandavas possessing superhuman strength were present? The birds patiently listened to the question and started answering them one by one. The birds first bowed to Lord Vishnu, praising him as all pervading force, Vishnu, the unchanging, the eternal, the all seeing, the invisible and the visible, the source and the sustainer and the dissolver of all existence. They said, He is the one who existed in 4 forms, one who possesses 3 gunas and also devoid of any gunas. The supreme, the greatest, the one who deserves to be worshipped, one who is immortal, one who pervades the universe, the one who is without a beginning, one who is greater than the greatest, one who is smaller than the minutest, one who possesses attributes of being seen and not being seen, one who is spoken as a creator, preserver, and destroyer. We bow down to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. We will explain the views of great sage Vedavyasa to you, O Rishi Jaimini. After saying this, the birds explained, There was destruction before creation, there was water everywhere. The sages who know about this truth refer to this water as Nara. Vishnu slept on this water and took refuge, as Ayana means place of refuge. So he is called Narayana. Narayana is established in 4 forms or Chaturvyuha, and he is both Saguna and Nirguna. The first form is the one that cannot be recognized. The learned perceive it as white. Those who are supremely devoted to yoga see this form as one whose limbs are covered in garlands of flames. It is known to be beyond gunas. It is known as Vasudeva. It can be seen when one is devoid of any sense of ego. Its form and complexion are not real but fashioned out of one's imagination. Its existence is always pure, established in an extremely sacred way. Friends, just to add up here, Vasudeva is the original form of Vishnu as he embodies the essence of divinity and is often associated with the concept of pure consciousness and ultimate reality, that is Brahman. This form is worshipped in many traditions and signifies the principle of unity in divinity. The second form of Vishnu is Samkarshana or form of Adi Ananta Shesha, which holds up the earth on his hood from below. It is said that it is characterized by tamas or darkness of ignorance. Friends, again, just to add up here, Samkarshan represents the power of creation, stability, and balance of the entire cosmos. This aspect of Vishnu is often associated with the maintenance of the universe and is believed to facilitate the connection between spiritual and material realms. The third form of Vishnu is Pradyumna and is devoted to nurturing and protection of subjects as and acts accordingly. It is said that this form is immersed in Sattva Guna. In this form, he always protects and establishes dharma on earth. He also slays asuras and destroyers of dharma and protects virtuous beings from adharma. O Rishi Jaimini, whenever there is a decline of dharma and adharma rises, he creates himself. He manifests and incarnates into different avatars such as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsimha, Vamana, Parashuram, Ram, and his latest one is Krishna in Mathura. Friends, again elaborating further on this, Pradyumna symbolizes the power of knowledge and love. He is considered the embodiment of desire and is associated with divine love, particularly in the context of relationship and cosmic balance. His character is highlighted as the importance of love as a force that drives creation. The fourth form of Vishnu is Aniruddha, who lies down in the water using Adi Ananta Shesha as couch. Using Rajas Guna, it always indulges in creation. This form is linked to the strength and capability to overcome obstacles. He represents individual soul's journey and attainment of liberation or moksha through devotion and righteousness. Friends, just to add up on the significance of Chaturvya or four forms of Vishnu and what philosophical significance it brings to our Sanatan Dharma. Vyuha means Murti. Paramatma has four avatars, namely Vyuha, Vibhava, Arkavatara, and Antaryami. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that Namaste Vasudevaya Namaha Samkarshana Cha Pradyumna Aniruddhaya Tubhyam Bhagavate Namaha. In Vishnu Puran also recognizes the four vyuhas. Om Namo Vasudevaya Namo Samkarshanaya Cha Pradyumnaya Namastubhyam Anuruddhaya Te Namaha. In View Avatar, four forms illustrate the principles of cosmic order and balance as each of these forms holds significant role in harmonious creation, maintenance and destruction. It also signifies unity in divinity where through these different forms and purposes but still it leads to one single divine reality, that is Brahman or Parabrahman or simply Paramatma. Sri Adi Sankaracharya has criticized the conception of four viewers in Brahma Sutra 2.2.42 to 45, which makes distinctions and is not directed at the four viewers as described in Srimad Bhagavatam and Vishnu Puran. These four viewers and murtis were also mentioned in Pancharatra Agama. Due to the scattered availability of Pancharatna Agama, a fundamental holistic hypothesis is difficult. The Jiva is born from Paramatman. The mind is born from Jiva. The ego is born from the mind. And thus, Adi Shankara says that these conceptions are not backed by evidence and are full of errors and therefore not consonant of the Vedic philosophy. Other manuscripts such as Lakshmi Tantra and other Samhitas base these four views on duality. In reality, the secret of four viewers has been indicated in Srimad Bhagavatam itself. In the wakeful state, the world itself is known as Samkarshana. In the dream state, Pradyumna manifests it as light or Tejas. Pure knowledge in the state of deep sleep, Shushupti, is also known as Aniruddha. Vasudeva is the witness to all these three states, avastha. So, when Rishi Markandeya was in a state of samadhi through his yogic powers, Lord Shiva appeared in his heart. And then, when Markandeya emerged from his samadhi, Lord Shiva appeared before him in his physical form. At that point, Markandeya eulogizes Shiva as Namah Shivaya Santaya Satvaya Param Rudraya Cha Rajo Shusupye Aghoraya Namustubhyam Namo Juse. In this sloka, Shiva is praised as an exalted or special form of three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. When Shiva speaks to the great sage, he says, "Three of us, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are those who grant moksha. People endowed with true knowledge or jnani do not see distinctions among me, Achyuta, that is Vishnu, and Brahma." After this, sage Markandeya says, Swami, you have created this universe by your mind, and then you have yourself entered it. You are the embodiment of three gunas as well as their director. You are second to none. You are the Guru and the Parabrahman. I bow to you. The Trimurtis are indeed manifested forms. However, the formless Parabrahman or Brahman is their fundamental and real nature. Now, coming back to my story, depending on his wishes, Vasudeva always assumes divine, human, or subhuman forms. This answers the question why Vasudeva assumed the human form. And now we will tell you about why Draupadi married five Pandavas. The birds continued, O Rishi, in earlier times, Indra killed Twashta's son Vishwarupa, who was the guardian of cows. Overwhelmed by the sin of killing a Brahmin, his energy was greatly depleted. Due to his wicked conduct, Indra's energy entered Dharma. Thus, Indra lost all his energy. On hearing the murder of his son, enraged Twashta tore off a lock of his hair and offered it as an oblation into the fire. A great Asura, Vitra, rose from the fire. He was gigantic with large teeth and complexion of collyrium, that is cobalt blue. Invigorated by Twashta's energy, Vitra was immensely strong. Indra realized that this Asura was meant for his destruction. Afflicted by fear, he dispatched the Saptarishis to bring about an alliance and truce between him and the mighty Asura. However, as cunning as always, he violated the truce and attacked Asura and killing him eventually. Killing Vitra in this unethical fashion was a sin, and it diminished Indra's strength. The strength from Indra's body went into Pavan, the god of wind. However, Indra's cunningness was still at large. After some time, Indra assumed the form of Rishi Gautama and violated Ahalya. Due to this horrible act, his beauty disappeared. The beauty entered Nasatyas or the Ashwin twins. So now the king of gods was deprived of his energy, strength, and beauty. Knowing this state of Indra, the Daityas sought to vanquish him. O Rishi, to defeat and kill Indra, extremely strong Daityas were born in the lineages of nobles and prominent kings. On one such occasion, the earth or Bhudevi suffered from this burden of Daityas taking birth on earth and went to the summit of Mount Meru where gods lived. She conveyed her suffering. She said, These Asuras with great energy and strength have taken birth in human form in the lineages of prominent kings. I am suffering due to this burden of this and sinking downwards. So, O gods, please act so that I can obtain peace. On hearing her plea, the gods descended from the heaven to earth in sake of ensuring welfare of subjects and removing earth's burden. They decided to take birth in human form. Using the energy released from Indra, Dharma was himself born through Kunti as energetic, righteous Yudhishthira. Using the strength from Indra, Pavan himself born to Kunti as the mighty Bhima. Indra, using his remaining energy, resulted into the birth of Arjuna through Kunti. Then Ashwin twins were born through Madri as Nakul and Sahadeva and possess Indra's beauty. Thus, all five Pandavas originated from the same source, even though they appeared as distinct entities. Indra's beloved wife was Shuchi or Indrani, and she emerged as Krishna or Draupadi from the fire altar of King Drupa's Yagya. Shuchi was Indra's wife, and later she married all five Pandavas, as all of them were Indra's different forms. After a pause, the birds told Rishi, Next, we will tell you why Balaram went to Tirtha after killing Suta Lomaharshana. Balaram was undecided at the time of Kurukshetra war on whose side he would take. Krishna, his beloved brother, had already taken Pandava's side. However, Balram was quite fond of Duryodhana as he was his guru and taught him to fight with a mace. However, seeing Krishna going towards Pandavas, he thought, without Krishna, I cannot take Duryodhana's side and also cannot take Pandava's side either, as it would be injustice toward my beloved student. So I will take neither side, neither Pandavas nor Kauravas. Until the destruction of Kauravas and Pandavas, I will be contained within myself and go on a pilgrimage. Thus, Balram went to Dwarka, which was full of happy and healthy people. On the next day, Balram was going for long pilgrimage. Therefore, he started to drink, and holding beautiful Revati by hand, he went to the prosperous garden of Raivata. Being heavily intoxicated, he stumbled and fell as he walked. He walked past the beautiful garden. He saw various trees bearing different types of delicious fruits and flowers. Various species of exotic birds sang and chirped on the branches of the trees as he progressed through the garden along with Revati and group of other beautiful women. He saw Brahmins and sages from the lineages of Kaushik, Bhargav, Bharadwaj, and Gautam listening to various sloks from Puranas. They were all listening to the great sage Sutalom Harshan attentively. These Brahmins and sages were seated on the spreads of shining kushal grass, and their upper garments were made out of black antelope skin. When they all saw Balram entering the auspicious place, seeing him intoxicated and not in his complete senses, except the sage Suta Lomharshana, all others arose and honored him. At this gesture, Balram was highly offended and became extremely furious, and unable to control his rage, he killed Suta Lomharshana with the tip of a blade of a kusha grass. After the death of Lomharshana, all the Brahmins left the garden. Balram realized his mistake and started repenting. He thought, I have committed a great sin as I have killed Suta, whose soul has departed from Brahmalok. All other Brahmins and sages glanced at me in disgust and left me. There is an unpleasant smell of blood on my body. I have committed a great sin by killing a Brahmin. Shame on my intolerance, the drink, my pride, and my rashness. Overwhelmed by this, I have committed this great sin. As an atonement, I vow for 12 years and will speak about what I have done. Therefore, I will now start visiting Tirthas and immediately leave for Pratiloma Saraswati. Now that we have told you why Balram killed a Brahmin, we will tell you about Pandavas. Friends, Pandavas means sons of Pandavas. The birds continued to tell the account. In earlier times in Treta Yuga, there was a royal king named Raja Harishchandra. He was the most righteous, truthful, protected his kingdom and this earth. His fame glittered across the earth. During his reign, there was no famine, drought, or disease. Everything happened as per the time. Everything was in order. There was no adharma, no unrighteousness anywhere. Citizens were not prone to adharma or intoxication or insolent due to their riches, valor, or austerities. One day, Raja Harishchandra went out for hunting and was chasing a deer in a forest. While chasing the deer, he heard some women crying for help. Abandoning the hunt, he followed the direction from where the cries were coming. As he approached the spot, he shouted and consoled the women, saying that he was there to help them out. As soon as he reached the spot, he was astonished to see a great sage, Vishwamitra, in a state of deep meditation. due to which he is observing forgiveness, silence, and control over his intelligence, striving for success. Afflicted by fear, those different kinds of learnings were screaming and crying for help. How can the king help? Learning, said the sage, is extremely powerful, and they were weak in comparison. At that moment, Vignaraj, the king of obstacles, who creates impediments of every kind of initiative, said to the learnings that he will enter the king's body and stop the sage from meditating. The terrible Vignaraj entered Raja Harishchandra's body and took over his mind. Thus possessed by Vignaraj, the king angrily shouted at the sage and raised his bow and aimed an arrow at him. Such enraged words from the king disturbed sage Vishwamitra. As soon as he opened his eyes, he saw the king. Instantly he became furious, and at the same time, all those kinds of different learnings disappeared. Vignaraj too disappeared, leaving the king in a normal state. King realized his mistake. The sage cried out at the king for such an improper gesture. Humbly the king prostrated himself and said, O illustrious one, this is my dharma. Please do not find fault in me. O great one, you must not be angry with me. I have been enraged in following my dharma. It is my dharma to donate and protect. I wanted to protect the learnings that were crying for help, so I raised my bow to stop you from meditation. Vishwamitra asked, O king, whom must you give to? Whom must you protect? If you are a knower and follower of dharma, answer me quickly. Raja Harishchandra replied that one must donate to the best of Brahmins and to ones who are suffering. One must protect those who are scared and weak. One must fight those who create obstacles. Vishwamitra said to the king that if he followed dharma, then he is also a Brahmin and wished for a dakshina. On hearing this, Raja Harishchandra was delighted as he was not cursed by the great sage. He excitedly asked the sage to ask what his wish was. He was ready to provide him with anything he desired, such as gold, silver, son, daughter, his body, his soul, his life, his kingdom, his city, his prosperity, or anything else he desired. Vishwamitra smiled and said he would accept whatever he would provide him as he longed for a dakshina for the royal sacrifice. With extreme devotion, Raja Harishchandra replied, O great one, I'll give you that dakshina. Please tell me what you desire. Vishwamitra smiled and said, O brave one, I wish for this earth with its ocean, lands, villages, treasures, elephants, horses, habitations, your entire kingdom, with your chariots, treasures, and wealth, whatever you possess as my dakshina. Only your own body, your wife, and your child are exempted from it. Give me all these. Despite hearing all these to be given to the sage as dakshina, king showed no anger or agitation on his face. With delightful mind and joined hands in salutation, the king agreed to give all this to the sage. Vishwamitra asked the king, since he had gifted all his possessions to the sage, who will be lord of all these possessions? Harishchandra replied valiantly that the sage would be the lord of all these possessions. Vishwamitra smiled wickedly and said, since he is the lord of all these belongings, he orders him to live right now wearing a tree bark along with his wife Shaiba and infant son Rohitashva at the very moment. Harishchandra happily agreed to this condition and started his preparation to leave. As he was leaving, the sage obstructed them and said, without giving dakshina for the royal sacrifice, he could not leave. At this, Harishchandra said that he had already gifted him everything he possessed. Only his body, soul, his wife, and infant son remained with him. What else he can give him? Angry Vishwamitra said he must give him his dakshina at any cost, as pledge made to a Brahmin is not, if not fulfilled, leads to the path of destruction. With extreme politeness, Harishchandra bowed before the great sage and said he had nothing to be left to be given as dakshina as of now. However, in the next 1 month's time, he can arrange to give him his dakshina. After taking approval from the sage, he, along with his family, left. However, the citizens were unhappy and in distress. They obstructed them from leaving and abandoning them. Looking at the distress of citizens, Vishwamitra intervened and accused Harishchandra of being a cheat, as he had already given the citizens to the sage. So, he had no right to stop and talk with them. On hearing this, Harishchandra left quickly along with his wife and son. During this moment, filled with compassion, five Vishwadevas said, how will this extremely wicked Vishwamitra easily obtain any world? He has uprooted the best among the kings who has sacrificed his kingdom to keep his word. Hearing this from five Vishwadevas, the sage became extremely angry and immediately cursed them. All of you will become humans. At this, scared, Vishwadevas asked for mercy from the great sage. On hearing their pleas, the sage said, though you will be humans, you will not have any wives or children. You will be free from desire, anger, and you will become gods again. As humans, you will be born in the lineage of Kurus. Saying this, the bird said, those were the five descendants of Pandu lineage who were born from Draupadi's womb. Due to this curse, these Pandavas did not have any wives or children and were murdered in their youth. After their death, as per the curse, they regained their godly form again. These were the answers to your questions, O Rishi Jaimini. So, friends, that was all about today's episode. In the next episode, I will narrate you the complete story of Raja Harishchandra and how he became a Chandal and the number of hardships his family had to suffer. I hope you are enjoying my podcast a lot. Please shower your love and blessings by liking the video, subscribing to my channel, Stories from Upanishads and Puranas, and pressing that bell icon so that you will be notified as soon as a new content is uploaded. Additionally, this video will be available in podcast format in major podcast players. Until then,